December is coming. I know it's only November, but soon we'll have Christmas trees, if that's your thing. And people, maybe that's a tradition, is putting people or your pets in front of the tree to take their photo. And now in November, we can do some prep to get ready to preserve those memories. So I'm using photos from 2011 of Samuel and Hoover. Hoover's my old dog. And so this is 2011. And so we're going to use a challenge centered around the Christmas tree or holiday tree, depending on what you want to call it. And we have these photos here, but we're also going to use some really gorgeous paper, designer series paper. Hello, my name is Amanda Farlinger with From Where I Stamp near Kingston, Ontario, Canada, and I help busy women scrapbook their memories using stamps, ink, and paper. If you, like me, have a stressful day job, tune in and sit with me so that we can be creative together and work on scrapbooking our Christmas memories. So this paper here is from the Joy of Christmas suite, and I've forgotten what it's called already. So this is just the specialty paper. All right, so we have shaded spruce, gold, white, and cherry cobbler. So we have, so this page back here isn't part of it, but there's like this white page. Let's see if I change the light here. So it's all like foily and pretty. I'm not really gold, like silver and gold. I'd rather silver, but this is really gorgeous paper. And I love these colors all together, the cherry cobbler, the white, gold, and shaded spruce. Shaded spruce is my favorite green. At least I think it's my favorite green. Comment below with your favorite green. I'd love to hear what your favorite green is, especially when doing Christmas crafting. Because Stampin' Up! Has a couple different colors that you can choose from, and they can work together too. So the music notes and like holly berries, you could color those in even with your markers or your blends, Stampin' blends. So we're going to use that paper. And this is our design that we're going to work from. It is something new I'm working on that should be out in November. If you want to know when it first comes out, make sure you're subscribed to my email list. So you go subscribe.fromwhereistamp.ca, and when you go there, you'll also receive my 3 fun scrapbook layout sketches and how to use them tutorial. If you've watched my videos, if you've subscribed to this channel, you'll have watched me create these layouts, some of these layouts here on YouTube. But this is where you can get the really good directions and dimensions for those projects. All right, so this is what we're going to be basing our layout on, but using these 3 photos. So this one is like a 3x3, but we're doing 4x4 because of the puppies. And then we have a portrait instead of a landscape. So we're going to switch it up just a little bit. And I like doing that with scrapbook layouts because even though this is how it's designed, you can create it exactly how it's laid out on the page, or you can switch it around a little bit. So we're going to play with that. So we're going to keep this handy so that way we can go back and refer to it. So in Stampin' Up's mini catalog, this is good until January 3rd. And some products might sell out depending closer to the date, but this is a Joy of Christmas suite. And we're not going to use the stamp set and dies that coordinate with this paper, but I wanted to showcase this paper plus this one, which I used on I think it was a fall layout in October. So I'll make sure that link is below in the description, along with the list of the products I'm using to create today's layout. And then that subscribe.fromwhereistamp.ca too will be there in the description. So this paper is gorgeous, and you get 4 designs, 2 sheets each. So you have 8 sheets of specialty designer series paper. And in Canada, that is $16.50. And I love starting with designer paper because then you can add in some cardstock and some photos, and you don't have to do a lot of stamping. You can add lots of stamping. So we're going to do Merry Christmas from the Very Cute stamp set. So you could do the trees if you wanted. These bears are just adorable. And then we're also going to use the Rustic Crate Bundle. So we're using this because of the poinsettias in here. And I've colored them using Stampin' Blend. So I'll show you how I did that here in a few minutes. And then because it's a bundle, the dies cut out that poinsettia perfectly. All right, so put the stamp sets aside for now. We'll get stamping in a moment. So when you're selecting a Christmas tree, do you purchase a real tree or artificial tree? We always go for a real tree. And this is actually at my parents' place, Christmas Day in 2011. I have a lot of photos lately from 2011. All right, so we're going to do some gluing down here. And I don't know about you with your tradition of going to get a Christmas tree, but we try to do a weekend, but sometimes the weekend in December, we always wait till after around December 1st, roughly. That's our tradition, my family. So it's something that sometimes that weekend seems really far into the month, and I'd like to have a Christmas tree sooner rather than later. So sometimes we have to go in the dark to pick out our tree. Now we purchase a pre-cut tree because it's just easier. It's just easier. All right. I'm just going to gauge here where this has to go. Something like that, I think. Just because of how it's all layered. So you could cut this piece a little bigger if you wanted, but because I wanted to make sure, since I only have 2 sheets of that one design, I wanted to save pieces for maybe another layout, or you can make some Christmas cards with it. All right, so now we're going to take this basic white piece, and I'm going to actually stamp first because it's going to go here, and we want Merry Christmas to be here roughly. All right, so let's do some stamping. So back to our Christmas tree. We usually get it the first part of December, and well, that's not what I want. I want Merry Christmas from this one. And then we'll put it up in the house. This year will be different. Well, not different. It'll be interesting because we have the puppy this year. So that'll be interesting to see how he takes to the tree. We'll have to do a bunch of training. And we put 2 trees up. So we put one 6-foot big tree, which is our main tree. And then we put up a 3-foot tree, which to me, I'm going to call it very old, but then that makes me feel like I'm calling myself very old. But we've had this tree, this 3-foot tree, since we were in college. So it's like, I don't even want to know the number. I don't even want to tell you the number of years. But we've had it a really long time. But because we have a basement, that's where my office is. And then the main floor, I like having a tree on both floors. And then this way, we only have to clean up pine needles from one tree rather than purchasing a second real tree and then having to clean up needles from a second tree. All right, so there's our Merry Christmas. So this one here, I've used the same stamp here and put Merry Christmas on a little flag. But because I've turned this layout, so as you can, let's move my glue out of the way so I don't make a mess. So you can see I've turned it so that way we can put a portrait photo there. All right, and now we can glue this down. And I really do enjoy putting trees up for the most part. Sometimes it feels like our Christmas tree will never be put up, or is up, but never decorated. Do you ever feel that way? Do you put the tree up and then you wait for some time to actually decorate the tree to make it look pretty? And it doesn't seem to ever happen. Sometimes, some years it feels like it's decorated like the week before Christmas, just because of how busy December can get. Oh, I want to make sure to put the photo on the layout properly. Here we go. And that's a little high up. All right, so we put that photo on, and then we have these photos like this, something like this. There we go. I like that. And then I wanted to write, but I've put the white part up a little too high, so I can't write Samuel and Hoover's name on there. So what am I going to do? Let's see. I think I'm going to grab some shaded spruce. Pull it from my filing cabinet. I keep all my colors in file folders in a big filing cabinet. There we go. So that way I can keep, because I have all the colors. Gotta have all the colors. So because I have all the colors, I can keep my, what's the word for it? Scraps, pieces aside for whenever I might need them. I don't know if half an inch. Half an inch. Let's try half an inch for now and see how that goes. All right. Where I need, let's just do this one for now. Okay. So I'm going to tuck it under, I think. So we want to do Samuel on the left and Hoover right. I know you could probably figure it out that Hoover's going to be on the right if Samuel's on the left, but just in case, if there ever is a doubt, then I'm just going to trim that off, make a little banner, and we're going to stick this down. A little bit of glue. Okay. I cut off just a little bit. And it kind of blends, because I've used the same color as the background, it kind of blends into the background. So it's not, instead of using like basic white, that would be really stark. And I wanted this here to be more stark, to pull out the white that's on my mom and dad's tree a little bit. All right, and now we can glue down our photos. Something like that. It's fun to put photos at an angle. Sometimes it's like, should the photo go this way or that way? Which way should it lean? And then we'll put this one, something like this, just to tie them all together, kind of in the center-ish, like so. So there is our layout with a portrait photo. Here's the layout with the landscape photo. So I've taken it and turned it like this. I'm not going to do any journaling because this was on Christmas Day. So the this is going to be one layout of maybe, I don't know. I don't even think I have all the photos printed from that day. So I might have like 4 or 5 layouts from Christmas Day. So I don't need to have any journaling on this page per se. But we're going to do some stamping using that Rustic Crate and Rustic Crate dies. And as a reminder, all the products, all the items I've used on this layout will be in the description below. And then I would suggest clicking on the subscribe button, because November, we're going to be talking about prepping for Christmas memories and how we can save those memories or do some prep ahead of time. So then maybe in December, we can not have to worry about how we're going to save photos and memories of what's happening or going on. And we can be prepared and maybe even catch up, not really catch up, but work on some past years. So that way we can do some scrapbooking now, scrapbooking maybe in December, and then maybe even some in January or beyond if January is really busy as well. Because I know my January and February are going to be busy. All right, so we have our stamped image here using Rustic Crate. And I'll show you all the blends I used. I've already colored in my poinsettias. So I have shaded spruce, Mossy Meadow. I have Cherry Cobbler and Real Red blends. And then I have the bronze. And the bronze comes with the color lifter. And I did have to use the color lifter. I probably didn't really have to, but can I? No, you can't really see it anymore. So basically what I did was I chose Real Red and Cherry Cobbler because they're dark reds, but they're different shades. So then if I can show you here, here's the dark Real Red, and then here's the dark Cherry Cobbler. So there's the difference in the shades. And then as you blend them and whatnot, then you can come up with something like this. So that would be in the Real Red was the base, and this one's a Cherry Cobbler base. And then the leaves on this, I used the Shaded Spruce Light, Shaded Spruce Dark, and then I also used the Mossy Meadow Light. And then those blended together. I don't know how well you can see it, but it's all three colors are in the leaves just because I like the look of it, kind of, I don't know, variegated or whatever way you want to say it's colored or looks like. All right, so I have one already colored, and we're going to cut that out using the Stampin' Cut mini machine, which is pretty awesome because I love how it folds up and it doesn't take a lot of space and it's compact and smaller. So now we have our dies. So there is this more gardening. So I use this for my garden scrapbook. You could, or scrapbook layout, and there's a little crate, gloves for the garden. It says hello. There's a little handle for your basket, or not basket, but for your crate. But we're going to use the poinsettia here. So this stamp set could be great for your Christmas crafting, but also for your garden. So if you have a vegetable garden like me, this bundle would be a good purchase. Woo! It moved. Come on. Don't tell me you started cutting. Oh, you did. Okay, let's see if we can salvage this, because usually I don't have that problem. All right, let's try this again. Ah, it moved. Okay, this one's a dead one. It actually it's not too bad. It's not too bad. Okay, it just won't be the focal one, or maybe I'll just use two. But anyway, okay. So fold that up, slide this away, put that in the recycling bin. All right, back to our layout. Okay, so I have two, and now we have a third one that's kind of wonky, but whatever's. Maybe we'll do that. We'll tuck it behind and you can't see the side. That's not the greatest. All right, so where do I want these ones to go? I could put one up there. Do I put one there? Or is that like weird? I don't know. Is there a way this, I think that looks the right way up. I think this looks upside down. Is there a right way up? Okay. Do I put them down here? Yeah, I think that one does have to be tucked behind. I don't know. Do I like it up there? I don't really like it up there. All right. We are going to make a decision, and we're going to put both of them along the bottom. Oh, and when you are coloring your, where's my thing? When you are coloring, because of these, I didn't apply a lot of pressure or put a lot of ink on there. So it will bleed through to your base. So I always grab like extra like copy paper or something I'm going to recycle that is just blank on one side. So that way I'm protecting my surface so then it doesn't bleed through. So we have some mini dimensionals. I like having both mini and larger size dimensionals when putting together my layout. So on my photo here, I used the larger dimensionals. Let's see, there we go. So there is the larger ones, and there are the smaller ones. So you can see the size difference. I like having both on hand, though those dimensionals along with the liquid glue, and I put the photos down with Stampin' Seal. So these would be my recommended adhesives to purchase if you don't have any adhesive. All right, so we're going to put a little bit of glue. And see, this one here, I guess I didn't put as much color on it as this one, because this one came through a little bit more. And if you were wondering where I used the bronze, it was in the center of the flowers. Okay, that one goes there. And this one, this is the funky one, so we're just going to slide it there and kind of put it between these 2 points just so it looks centered. And then we're going to take some of the backings off these dimensionals. And make sure they go the right way up, or what I think are the right way up. We're going to overlap them just a little bit, like so. And then to finish off this layout, we're going to add some little red and green adhesive pearls. So there's, like, when I got them, I'm like, well, where's the red pearls? You open it up and flip the flap, and you have some pearls or some red ones. So we're going to use the gold. See, I much prefer silver over gold, but that's all right. And then we're going to put 2 here. And then I think we'll put a couple down in here. Push them down so they stay. And then we're going to put a couple up here. And didn't quite go where I wanted it to go, but that's okay. We'll put one more down there. I don't know. Felt like it needed one more. What do you think? So this is a layout that I've used the Specialty Designer Series paper, and 3 of the designs I've used on this layout, and then I can turn around and use other pieces from those pages on other layouts. So if you do have, I think it's, would have to double check, the Joy of Christmas designer paper here, the main pack, like I used on one of my autumn scrapbook layouts. You could pair these together, and then you can also add in some gold foil paper if you wanted, and then find a stamp set that you like, unless it's something that you do like one of these coordinated stamp sets, and there's even dies that match it. So you can mix and match, and I'll help you along on what can go together, and we'll try some different combinations. So the rustic crate bundle with the Berry Christmas for that Christmas sentiment, with the Joy of Christmas Specialty Designer Series paper. So I hope you've enjoyed this layout, and I'd love to see your layout. And I hope that you'll join me next Thursday. Happy stamping!